Hey folks, Josh Brennan here from Lightning Humor. How you doing? It's been about a week or so, hasn't it? Yeah, about a week. How you doing? Good. Yeah. Really? Well, I hope she's okay. This right here is something very special. That, my dear friends, this is what's known as softly spoken magic spells from Single Cut. The brewery is called Single Cut Beersmiths. It's from Astoria, New York, in Queens. And a lot of times I really can't get this. But the consumers in Lockport actually had it on tap at the Growler station. It's fantastic, phenomenal stuff. I wish I had a bottle to show you, because I feel like it's kind of an incomplete review. But if I were to show you, when I pour it out of a growler, it's like, oof, big deal. I don't know, it seems like something's missing, but if you can ever get your hands on anything by Single Cut, go ahead and do yourself a favor. Do it. Oh, it's so good. Double IPA. It's like very fruity. Slight pine finish at the end, but nothing to turn you off if you don't like that. I had a beer the other day that tasted just like a lemon pledge. I won't tell you what it was, but it was terrible. I had to drink it merely upon principle. Yeah. Blah. 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 Yeah, so it's Monday. I might start doing videos on Mondays. I like Mondays, Today was a really good Monday. I had a great wake up. Weather was alright. It was supposed to get nicer. But it just never got there. I actually was going to make this video about a half hour, 45 minutes ago, but I couldn't due to the just the cracking of thunder. And the rain was just battering the side of the house. It just couldn't been. It wouldn't have been a good video. I would have had to talk like this. I don't know, maybe I would have done it outside, pretend I was a news reporter. Yeah, Chuck, it's terrible here. My umbrella is just holding itself together. I've had to tape it back twice. It's really windy. Like, no, none of that. I don't think so. So I just waited till it died down, etc., etc. Yeah, so school's almost coming to a close for me. I like that. It's been a while since I've had my my pumpkin glass back. I was actually at my dear friend's house, Ken Wilson. Shout out, in case you didn't notice. Good guy, that Ken Wilson. I could always count on him. But yeah, he had my cup and I gave him a coffee maker. Because I already have it, so. He's pretty excited about it, It's almost like, you give me the stuff, I give you the bag. No, you throw it. No, you give me the stuff, I give you the bag. No, you throw it. You better give me the stuff or you ain't getting this bag. And then I got the bag, so. We worked it out. It was like a little. Yeah. School's almost over. Can't wait to get back to work. Pretty happy about that. Long silences. Pretty nice, aren't they? They can be awkward with a new person, a different person. When you're by yourself, it's very reassuring. It's very calming. Do you say calm or calm? Calm or calm? I think it's a silent L. I don't know. If I had my way, I'd spell it, and I'd put an umlaut over the A and put two M's at the end. Speaking of words, I invented a new word the other day, or a new phrase, I should say. Alliteration is when words in a sentence or randomly strung together, it could be, a participle or whatever, they all start with the same letter. An amazing aunt always asks. Alliteration. There you go. I came up with Z-alliteration. It's got a Z at the end. It's got a Z at the beginning because it entails words that have the same ending. Amazingly and evenly. Well, I lost it. But the term still stands. Words that end the same way. That is Z-alliteration. There you go. Wrap a noodle on that one. Welcome. I'm about to, actually, I'm waiting on a call from Webster. And they're, the dictionary people. They're going to call me back. But yeah. They'll call me back. They'll call, right? Like, will they? Call. Oh, look at that. That's what's left over. Taste of beer. You ready? Are you ready to do this? Are you really ready? Are you ready? That's like if you ever seen the movie The Warriors. Can you dig it? If you haven't seen that one, that's a great one. Warriors, come out and play. If you've seen it, you know it. If you don't, you're like, what is that? And then you should have a dear friend show you exactly what it is. Alright, so that was a weird way to start the video because normally I start in a very certain way. But hey, you know what? Do something different. Do something different. Why not, right? Alright, so now here's the official start. Alright. What we got right here is Lagunitas Undercover Shakedown Investigation. Undercover Investigation Shakedown, that's what it is. Shutdown. Oh my gravy. I can't read into the camera like that. It's backwards. There's actually a pretty cool story about this brew and why it came to be. There were some police officers, the brewery Lagunitas in Petaluma, California. They used to hold parties with live music, and they still do actually. But they held parties out at the brewery, and people they're pretty 420 friendly, so they would hold parties out there, and they actually hired a couple of employees who turned out to be undercover officers. Yeah, that's pretty weird. So what they ended up doing was, like, the local police heard about this, and then they sent their officers to go get hired there. And they worked there for a couple months. And they actually finally busted Lagunitas for this. And this is a while ago. I think in the mid-90s? They busted them, and then they couldn't sell beer. Or make beer for quite a little stretch of time. So that's actually pretty cool that there's like a piece of history behind it. And Lagunitas, I keep getting more and more Lagunitas. I don't know how they can keep the price point down, but the quality is always so superior. Last week I did a video on about the Waldos, and then I did the Born Again yesterday. And Lagunitas, they're coming rougher all the time. If you haven't checked out Gogol Bordello, they're a band from, I believe, Romania. My brother showed them to me. Hey Sean, my brother showed them to me, and they have a song called Immigraniata, and it's quite striking. There we go. That's the word. It's very striking. I would highly recommend it. It's got like a little bit of a punk bend to it, but it's pretty good. I'd recommend it. Love those guys. But yeah, so it's really cool that like there's a story that goes along with this. There's also a story that goes along with that Waldo's beer as well. And then, it's just not like, meh, let's make a beer. You want to make a beer? Yeah, I like beer. Let's make a beer. There's a story behind it, so it gives it, it seems to lend a real credence to it. But yeah, Lagunitas uncovered investigation shut down ale. It's an IPA, and most of their stuff's IPA. Comes in at 9.6%. Oof. So there's a big one. Anywho, yeah. So my good friend Rosangelo, her full name, Rosangelo. I used to work with her down at URS in Virginia. Oh, woof. That one's quite forceful. It's not my first time having it. If you could tell the color, it's very dark. Not stout or porter dark, but almost like an amber ale. But it definitely has a malty backbone. Smells malty. It's kind of hard to consider an IPA, but that's what they call it. Pardon me. I could honestly consider this one a lager. But it's still good. I had one over the weekend that it was 13%. It was from a place in Oklahoma. That was really good. It was a stout aged on vanilla beans, coffee beans, cacao nibs. Not cocoa nibs, but cacao. And, chili peppers. Yeah. Not the red hot type, but chili peppers. It was spicy. And it actually, the first, I took a sip and it seemed, I took a smell. I took a sniff. I take a sniff and it's like, oh, it seems fairly safe, It's like crossing the street, and you check, you look both ways, and all right, give it a whirl, see what happens, and I'm like, oh, it's just okay. And then I didn't just take a sip, I took a swig, and I did the too much mustard face. I don't know if you've ever had too much mustard, but it's like, and then all the hairs on your body stand up, but in a good way. But yeah, that went down super smooth. The first one, the second one that I had on another day was far spicier than the first one. So, weird. I actually gave one of these to my buddy Jimmy. I go to school with him, and Jimmy's a good guy. I like Jimmy. And he just recently turned 21, and normally he drinks, Miller High Life. He said, I'm on that Miller High Life business. I'm like, oh yes, the champagne of beers. And I said, well, one of these days, if I have beer left over from the weekend, I'll bring you in one. And he's like, an IPA, because I told him I like IPAs and stouts, IPAs, stouts, porters, etc., etc. And he's like, aren't those the bitter ones? I said, they sometimes are, but let me help you out. And so I actually I hooked him up with one, and it was so funny because we had to walk all the way out to my car in the rain, and then I drove him back to school, from the parking lot. I'm like, would you like me to drive you to the door? He's like, yeah, that'd be nice. And he didn't think I would actually do that, or maybe the phrasing was lost upon him. But as soon, the way the school is set up, it's kind of like a downward slope. But Yeah, I turned on my four ways and slowly grabbed my way to the door. He was like, "Wow, you're really driving me to the door." I'm like, "Yeah, man, I told you I would." He's like, "I did not expect that." I said, "Yes." Well, that's what you get when you hang around me. You get exactly what you say. What I say is what I mean, which is really nice because there are sometimes in life, that there are folks out there who it seems they almost purposely do the opposite all the time, like no matter what, and they're always waiting upon your reaction to decide their action. There's this thing called counterdependence. Like if I were to tell somebody, "Hey, stop," they would keep going. Or if I said, "Hey, keep going," they would stop. Kids do it all the time. Uneducated, narrow-minded people do it all the time. My good buddy Ken Wilson caught me doing it the other day. Everybody does it. It was somebody told me to move, and I had like this huge wheelbarrow full of mulch with a very, very flat tire, and I was trying to push it up an incline. So I was gathering all my power. I was getting ready to my gumption, get it up the hill, and I had somebody come by. "Let's go!" And Ken saw it. He's like, "Oh!" And I froze because I heard it right over here over my shoulder. So instantly I just stopped doing what I was doing. Ken's like, "Oh, you've activated his what is it? Oh, yeah. His counter dependence. He's frozen. He can't do anything." So, I mean, even those who are trained communicators, we still do it, depending on upon the situation. Yeah, I mean, so it's really weird for some people to accept what I say. "Would you like door-to-door service? Do you want me to take you to the door?" Yes. He thought I was going to drop him off at the curb. If that were to happen, I said, "Would you like me to drop you off at the curb?" Then I would drop him off at the curb. It's a crazy mixed-up world out there. You gotta say what you mean and mean what you say. You don't have to be 100% all the time, because you can't. I don't think there's such a thing as 100%, 100% efficiency rate. No, I don't think so. I used to, I had a very long relationship with this one girl, and her counterdependence was so strong. If we were living in a volcano, I would say, "You know what, babe? A little warm. A little warm. I'm going to turn on the AC." And she would say, "No, don't do it. I'm pretty hot." What? No, turn the heat on. No, she would say, I'm cold. I'm cold, don't turn on the AC. Turn the heat on, actually. And I'm like, "Well, I'm a little warm. We live in a volcano. And I'm hot. I want to turn on the AC. She says, I'm cold, turn the heat on." That's how it happened every time. Every stinking time. She wanted to buy her oldest son the newest sneakers, the latest and greatest. All the girls at work were talking about these shoes that were $260. I said, if you want to buy sneakers like that, go ahead. Did I want to buy sneakers like that? No, I did not. So I told her go ahead. And what did she do? She did not. There are some people out there whose way of thinking is far different and fractured, but it's not their fault. 50% of it is not their fault, because that's what they were taught growing up. And they're not going to seek out, if they don't think what they're doing is wrong, they're not going to look for a solution. Why would I look for a solution? Everything's working fine. But, and if it's not their idea, then it's wrong. I used to work for a supervisor, and it was so funny because one time I pointed out to him, I'm like, listen, Like, I came up with a solution, a very viable solution. Better, it was better than what was going to happen. It was going to be better, so much better. You're not going to, you know about it. Just believe me. Believe me. Anyways, what ended up happening was the solution worked, and I proposed it to our boss, far higher up, and it was greenlit. And what ended up happening was my immediate supervisor was extremely upset with me because I suggested it, and I floated the idea. I said, "So why are you so upset?" And he's like, "Well, you went over my head." I said, "Well, I told you this idea." "Yeah, and you said it was stupid. So I went above your head because I knew this would work." "Why do you have to do that?" "Because I know it would work. The reason why you're so upset and didn't accept the idea is because it wasn't your idea." You want to know how you could tell when you're right in a conversation with somebody? When they go silent. When there's nothing they could say. That's how you know you're right. We live in a volcano. I'm a little hot. Want to turn up the AC? Well, I'm kind of cold. All right, well, yes, we'll turn the heat up because we live in a volcano. That is what we're going to do. Counterdependence. That's a real thing, folks. You tell your kid not to hit that button. Kid's going to hit that button every time. I tell you. It is what it is. Well, this here draws a close. Rosie, how you doing? Thinking about you. Ken Wilson. Definitely helped me out a lot. Oh, by the way, Mike from Consumers, he gave me a bottle of his homebrew, an IPA, an unfiltered IPA. That was stinking delicious. True story. Super delicious. Super delicious. Don Smith, the ball across the runway, the handball across the runway in Singapore is coming next time. That story, you're going to get it. Don't worry. You're going to get your ending. Everybody check out DJ Ricky. Pretty Ricky? He may be pretty. I mean, that's what he says. I really don't know. So good. Anyway, folks, tell me what you like. Tell me what you didn't like. Leave comments in the section below. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you didn't like. Hit like. Hit subscribe. And we'll do it again next time, folks. Cheers.